And I'll dedicate this song to my dad who turned 90 yesterday.
You've been a huge influence on me, Dad. Thank you. I wonder where I'll be today if my folks had decided to stay in the Porte.
First day of school to my very first date in a park. My dad played basketball a long time ago. My mama moved all the way from Chicago to the park. California, the land of greedy. Saw future there for his family. Didn't take too much convincing my mom, so we loaded up the station wagon, and the trailer it was dragging, headed off to Southern California. Said goodbye to the Porte, Indiana. Said goodbye to the Porte, Indiana. It's a true story. It really is a true story. Well, see, what happened was, we got that station wagon full of all the kids. I was the youngest of four. My mom and dad took off from Porte, Indiana for Southern California in that station wagon with the trailer. And we drove through the desert. I remember it well, even though I was only about 2 years old. It was the beginning of the 1960s. So there was surf music on the radio. Like the safaris, like Surfer Joe, stuff like that. And I remember when we drove by the drive-in movie theater, I remember it. We drove by a drive-in movie theater and on the screen was Natalie Wood. And there was her lover, Tony, from the Jets, and he was singing, he was saying, there's a place for us, somewhere a place for us. Remember that? Well, anyway, maybe you know the rest of the story.
I remember there was a slow talking man.
That's right, okay, well, we were driving through the desert, and it must have inspired a dream, because I remember having this dream many, many times as I was growing up, and even occasionally when I was an adult, so-called. But I had this dream that we were driving through the desert in the station wagon, and we saw a tent. So we came upon a tent, and we all got out of the car, and we all went inside of it. And inside of this tent, there was a big banquet room with a long banquet table full of food. Not unlike this room. And the thing was, my sister explained this to me later, because I didn't understand what the dream meant. But we all had these long forks. And it seems that the only way that you could get anything to eat in there was by feeding the person that was next to you. Next to you. Well, my sister explained that was like a vision of heaven, because in heaven, you don't feed yourself, you feed the person next to you.
Then there was a girl.
Yeah, there was a girl. Well, of course there was a girl. Well, her father was this old cowboy named Smokey, and he wore a cowboy hat. Well, and he was our tour guide through the stream. And he had a beautiful daughter. Of course, I was instantly enamored of her. She had long black hair and her name was fair. Maria, 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 Maria. There's a place for us. Somewhere a place for us. And I believe she's sent to me. I believe she's sent to me. I believe it was meant to be. She was sent to me. And I still end up in California, even if I had grown up in the Porte, Indiana, in the Porte, Indiana, in the Porte. Maria, 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 love. Thanks, Joe.
So I think Ted, he always liked when I played some Dylan, so
That'll
got a
work.
couple Dylan tunes coming up.
Wondering if she changed at all, if her hair was still red. Her folks said that our life together sure was gonna be rough. They never did like Mama's homemade dress. Papa's raincoat wasn't big enough. It wasn't fitting on the side of the road. The rain falling on my shoes. Headed for the East Coast. Lord knows I paid some dues. Getting blue. Tangled up in blue. She was married when we first met, soon to be divorced. I helped her out of a jam, I guess, but I used a little too much force. So we drove the cars just as far as we could, and abandoned it all wet. Split up on the dark side night, both agreeing it was best. And as I started walking away, she turned and said to me, I heard her say over my shoulder, we'll meet again someday on the avenue. Tangled up in blue. I got a job in the great Northwoods, working as a cook for a spell. I never did like it all that much, and one day the axe just fell. So I drifted down to New Orleans, where I happened to be employed, working on a fishing boat right outside of Villafroy. And all the while I was alone, the past was close behind. I met a lot of women, but she never escaped my mind as I just grew. Tangled up in blue. I met her in the top of those bars, I stopped in for a beer. Just kept looking at the side of her face, the spotlight so clear. Then as the crowd thinned out, I was just about to do the same. She was standing there at the back of my chair, said to me, "Don't I know your name?" I looked at her, she looked at me, she started the lines in my face. I must admit I felt a little uneasy when she bent down to tie the laces of my